are going to go ahead and jump in. I thank you all so much for joining me this evening. I know you could be doing anything else with your time, and you are here with me. And so my goal in doing this is to empower you all to be able to put a digital strategy in place to grow your business. And that I could, of course, just try to charge you to do it for you. But I think it's important that I'm empowering folks to do it themselves. So Rick is saying he's here. And hey, Joyce, thanks for joining. All right. So, and Amanda can see. Hopefully, Rick, are you still getting some feedback? Hopefully not. All righty. So, and if you do, if anything, if you all need to communicate anything, feel free to just drop it in the chat. And yes, I am supposed to be in the small corner for right now. Actually, I'm gonna let me stop the presentation and then. So hey y'all. So y'all should be able to see me a lot better now. So for those that don't know me, my name is Danielle McGee. I'm the founder of Black Business Boom, which is a marketing platform for Black-owned businesses. And so I have been an entrepreneur for about 8 years now. I owned a brick and mortar spa in Chicago for about 5 years. I decided to shut it down after 5 years of being in business when I decided to move to Nashville. So I really understand the challenges that Black business owners specifically experience in trying to get a business going and get the name of the business out there. And when I opened my spa in 2012, it was before like we really even had a lot of the Facebook ad and Instagram ad capabilities. Google's platform has transformed and grown a lot since then. So, and you all can see my dog in the back. But so I didn't have and Dominique, you should be, I think you can see everybody else's questions. But if not, I think I'm the only one that can see everyone's questions. Actually, I'm sorry, I got it set to private. So I will go ahead and change it so that all messages are public and private. So now you all should be able to see any messages going forward that anybody sends through. So anyway, jumping back in. So I owned Spatique Chicago for 5 years. I also owned a personal chef service in Chicago for a few years with a business partner, and we dissolved that after a couple years, but it was doing very well. We used sites like Groupon and Living Social to really get the word out there. And so I started Black Business Boom about a year ago because I realized that we didn't have a platform like that for ourselves. And so anyway, to make a long story short, over the last several years, I've learned so much about how to grow a business and how to grow your presence online that I felt like it's my duty to really give that information to the community and help us to catch up. And I was going to turn on some light here, so now y'all should be able to see me a little better. And so that's what we're doing tonight, right? So I want to give you all the information, all the things that I've learned over the years. A lot of it has been trial and error. I do have an undergrad degree in marketing. I have an MBA as well. So I have the schooling, but I actually have I've been there and done that. I've experienced all the hard knocks. I've struggled. I've cried. I've done all that, right? So I really want to make sure that I'm doing my part and giving back to the community. And so we got a lot more people joining. Fantastic. So let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and jump into this presentation. I'm going to stick to it a little bit, but you all, if you've ever met me before, which I think some of you guys have met me, you'll know I'm fairly random. So I'm not going to stick 100% to this presentation. I'm going to throw in some things, some extra stuff. And then also this presentation will be available for playback. So I know there were some folks that weren't going to be able to stay the whole time. You will, after this, you'll get an email with a link to be able to replay the presentation because I want you to be able to reference it when you need it. And then you'll also have my information to get in touch with me if you need me. All right. So let's go ahead and jump on into the presentation. All right, so let me flip on through. And this is a new webinar platform I'm using. Usually I use another one, so I'm getting adjusted to this one. So I want everybody to do something for me. You can or you can't. It's a little activity, and it's going to guide us kind of through the principles that I'll be talking about in the webinar. So you should have your phone. You may be on your phone right now watching this, but I want you to text the word business to 33777. And so when you do that, you'll actually get a reply with a free gift from me. And again, this is kind of going to guide where this conversation is going to go. So for those that have your phone near you, go ahead and text that. And I still have some folks trying to join right now. Let's see. I think there may be some issues with the link. Unfortunately, I won't be able to keep replying to folks because we're in the middle of the webinar. So I'll just make sure everybody gets the replay. So if you texted 33 business to 33777, you should have gotten a reply back, seemingly from me. And it's going to ask you for your email address, which I have already. It's going to ask you for your name. So yeah, it'll tell you. I just did it just so I could go through it with you guys. So it'll offer you my free download of my ebook. And I put out an ebook that has a bunch of information about online marketing. So a lot of the stuff that we'll talk about tonight. And so I usually sell that, but I'm giving that away for free to everyone who joined the webinar tonight. So we'll jump into why I had you do that. All right, moving on to the next slide. So what we're going to talk about tonight is lead generation, right? How do you get people interested in what you're doing? And then how do you convert those people to customers, to paying customers, hopefully. So lead generation is the initiation of consumer interest or inquiry into your product. So how do you get folks asking you about what you do and taking interest in buying what it is that you sell? And so most of the time when folks are looking to generate leads, they're looking to build some sort of list, launch some sort of newsletter, and ultimately sell somebody something. And so those are kind of the three things that you would want to generate leads for. I'm going to tell you all, I learned this and it changed my life and it changed my strategy and pretty much everything I do in marketing. And we're so lucky to be having businesses in the age that we're in right now where we can use the internet to make money. And content marketing is where you want to be because it's so much cheaper. And so a lot of us as Black business owners, we don't have a lot of cash to get our businesses started, but we can write, we can do all these things. We can make videos. We take awesome pictures. So we have to learn how to use that content in order to drive sales to our business. It's 62% cheaper to go that route rather than putting out ads to try to get folks or paying a marketing manager to do all this stuff for us. And it'll generate 3 times more leads for you, right? So I know we've all been like Googling something and then a blog comes up. Now you're reading the blog. Now you get a pop-up that's asking you for your email address, right? So, and now you end up buying something from these people or at least being tempted to. And so that's a great strategy in growing your business. So we'll be talking about tonight where to get a lead, how to get a lead, and what to do with the lead once you have it. So where to get the leads, right? So most of y'all probably found out about this on social media, right? So we know how big social media is in generating leads because that's what I did in getting you all here tonight, right? Although I didn't bring you here to sell you something, realistically, if I did, I could. So I got you guys here by offering you a free webinar to teach you something. And that generated leads using social media. So, You got Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Snapchat, of course, TikTok. We got a lot of other ones that are out right now, but those are kind of the main ones that I focus on and that I'll talk about. You have search engines. So search engines are your best friend. You really want to be using using the search engines to your advantage in marketing your business. And a lot of that doesn't cost you. It's free. And then your website is another place. If you can get someone to your website, you need to be trying to figure out your strategy to capture that person, because we know that 2% of folks it's only about 2% of business consumers that are going to make a purchase the first time they go to your website. So if they walk away from that website, you may not ever hear from them again, and you have to fix that. So we'll be talking about some ways to do that tonight as well. All right. So social media, you want to increase your brand awareness. These are kind of your purposes in using social media for your business: to increase your brand awareness, grow an audience, connect with that audience, get folks to your website, but ultimately to make money, right? All of this is to make some money for most of us. It's all about getting some cash in our pockets, right? So, but this is how you have to see social media. You can't just go straight for the sale. And that's where a lot of us make the mistake. We go straight for the sale versus trying to connect with that audience, getting them to know, like, and trust you, and then getting them to spend money with you. So let's dive a little deeper into social media. So first of all, you want to choose the right platform. Everybody's not your customers may not be on Facebook. They may not be on Instagram. They may very well be on Pinterest, especially if you have something cute that you're selling, or you're decorating, or you're an event planner. They may be looking for you on Pinterest. LinkedIn is a really great platform for you to connect with folks, especially if you have a business to business business. So if you're in the business of selling something to another business and businesses are your consumer, then you might want to be on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn has a great platform for sending out messages directly to people. You can pay for it. It's not super expensive, but you have to be very targeted in doing so. So also on social media, your content. We just talked about the content and how important that is. So a lot of times we're just pushing out everything, and we're wasting our time. We're spinning our wheels and we're not getting anywhere. So you have to really take a step back and look at what that content is like. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. Research and learn your audience. So people ask all the time how I was able to grow my Instagram following to 30,000 people in 9 months. And it was not magic. I literally just figured out what my audience wanted to see, and I just kept doing it. And I avoided selling to my audience. So the next point, keep salesy tactics to a minimum. I did not sell anything for probably about 4 months. I didn't even say what my business was. I just connected with my audience, and people were like DMing me like, I love what you're doing, trying to figure out, can they pay me to do something for them? And they didn't even know what I did. Video content is huge on every platform right now. Video is key in getting your message out. And we'll talk again about like IG, Instagram, and Instagram TV, which has also been huge for me. Engagement is key. So it takes a lot of time, and I get that. And you'll hear me say that time and time again tonight, how important it is to be engaged on your social media. There are times, like for instance, on Instagram, I don't even like Instagram. It's not even my favorite platform, but I know if I'm dropping something that I need folks to look at, I'm going to drop it at a time where I'm not doing anything and I have time to sit there and go back and forth and engage with folks, because engagement is going to boost how many people see that post. And then automation. A lot of us are still solopreneurs. A lot of us are still working entrepreneurs, and we're working full-time jobs like myself. So automation is key. And I'm going to tell you some ways that I've learned to automate my social media presence so that I can have social media working for me when I'm working my 9 to 5. So let's talk about Facebook. So a lot of you guys have come and found out about this webinar from my Facebook group, Black People Making Moves, which has grown tremendously over the last year. And that was by design. It wasn't an accident. And so I've had the page for 3 years or the group for 3 years, and I put absolutely no effort into it for about the first year and a half. And then I start to see, okay, people are interested in this. Okay, I might want to do something with this, right? And so I've gone to several seminars around digital marketing, online marketing, Facebook, using Facebook for business, and Facebook pages are always pushed. Everybody's pushing Facebook groups. And that may be a better way to get folks engaged than an actual Facebook page. If you're going to use your Facebook page, which I truly do believe every business, no matter what kind, should have a Facebook business page, because that's where a lot of folks are going to find out if you're legit. Like before they do business with you, they're going to look you up. And I know I look up a lot of folks on Facebook to see, what's their Facebook page looking like? When was the last time they posted? Are they still open? Because if they're not open, then, they're not going to be posting, that type of thing. If you're going to have a Facebook business page, which again, you need to, it needs to be complete and it needs to be customized. So Facebook has made it so easy to now customize your page to show your audience what they should see first, right? So if I'm pushing out videos all the time and video content is my thing, then my video tab is going to be the very first thing when someone goes to my Facebook page. I want them to see videos first. And you can do that on Facebook. So you go in and figure out and just play around with it. Again, this is a crash course, so I can't go super deep into a lot of things, but there'll be some future opportunities where I'll talk specifically about some of these topics. But high level, go in and make sure that you've completed your page. And when I say complete, folks need to be able to get in touch with you. They need to be able to find your website, what times you're open if you're a brick and mortar, reviews about your business. So turn on your reviews. A lot of folks probably scared to turn on their reviews, but turn on those reviews, because a lot of folks don't think you're legit if you have your reviews turned off. But you can really, and there's so much integration that can happen there. So my platform that I sell on, I've integrated with Facebook. So now when you go to my Facebook, you can go and buy my planner right on my Facebook page. You don't even have to go over to the website, right? So look into making sure that your platform, that your Facebook is complete and you have all the information that someone would need to know about your business. It should be almost as complete as your website is. You need to be constantly posting on Facebook. And there are some ways to do that. And I'm going to talk about those ways, what I use right now. So I figured out that my audience connected with stories about Black-owned businesses and about entrepreneurs, right? So there are websites that constantly produce that content. They're constantly putting out blog posts and articles about Black entrepreneurs and the great things that they're doing. So I don't necessarily have to create that content to get it out to my audience. So I use Feedly. And so I have Feedly here. You can see that's how you spell it. So Feedly scrubs the internet for articles related to Black entrepreneurs, right? So I don't have to go and look for these articles. They're pulling them for me constantly. And I go in once a month, and they actually I use Zapier. So if you're familiar with Zapier, Zapier will automate things for you. So I have Feedly connected to a Google Sheet, right? And if you're not using the Google suite of products, you need to be, because they're free. So Google Sheets is basically a free version of Microsoft Excel, right? So Feedly is connected to Microsoft or to Google Sheets. So every time Feedly finds an article it thinks I might be interested in, it drops it onto an Excel spread or onto a Google Sheet spreadsheet for me. I then go in once a month. I scrub that list. I find the articles that I like, that I think my audience will connect with, and then I upload that spreadsheet to Postcron. and you'll see Hootsuite, Postcron. There are like thousands of tools now for you to automate the posting onto your social media, but I use Postcron. All I have to do is upload that sheet, and then it takes that sheet, takes every line in it. It says how many times you want to post a day. So I'll say, I want to post 2 times a day for the next 30 days. It schedules 60 posts to happen without me doing anything. It posts them at the times where they will get the most engagement. So I don't spend a lot of time at all worried about my Facebook business page. And I think a lot of us don't post on our Facebook business pages because we don't know what to post and we don't have time to be figuring it out every day, right? So this is a way that I spend 30 minutes or less one time a month and plan all of my Facebook business page content for the month. And again, I'll do another webinar soon where I will walk you through that process. But Feedly links to Zapier. Zapier links that spreadsheet to Google Sheet, or links to my Google Sheet. And then I download the Google Sheet and upload it to Postcron. And I'm sure there are several other ways you can do that, but we have to get creative and how we keep that content going when we doing other stuff. I don't be sitting posting on Facebook all day. And people ask me all the time. I schedule a lot of things, and you can even schedule to Facebook groups through Postcron. So I have a Facebook group that I'll schedule things to go to the group so that I'm not worried about that. All right. So no, stay. Somebody said they wanted to end right now so they can go do it. So no, it's a lot more stuff coming up. There's a lot of great stuff coming up. All right. So also, I typically post to my business page, then I share it to my personal page. Or sometimes I'll post to both, but I want to get as much visibility as possible for my business page. So that's why I do it that way, where if I'm announcing something, I will put it on my business page, then I share it to my personal page, because then more people are seeing Black Business Boom, and then they'll hopefully go and like the page, right? So Zapier, Zapier. And Zapier is fantastic. And I'm going to do a whole webinar on using Zapier because it's amazing to help you automate things for your business. So I'll be doing another webinar in a few weeks on automation, but we're going to talk about some of that stuff today. Tagging. So when you're tagging, or you can tag from your business page, right? So you can tag people and you can tag businesses from your business page when you're posting. And what that does is it helps to boost your engagement quickly. Because again, it's all about engagement. The more people who engage, the more people who are gonna see that post. So the quicker you can get people to comment on your post, the more that Facebook is gonna show it to additional people. So that's why Nicole, I'm going to be sending this out after the presentation as well as a replay, someone asked. So, but yeah, so if you tag folks, hopefully they on Facebook and they're going to go ahead and run over there and they're going to comment, and then that post will get more engagement and be shown to more people. Facebook Messenger, right? So this is where it's at. And so if you happen to be in my Facebook group, you probably have come across one of my messenger bots. And we're going to talk about messenger bots. More people are using Messenger than are using Facebook. So people are using Facebook Messenger to communicate with their friends and family when they're not even really Facebook users, right? So it's so important that your business is using Messenger. And I'm going to tell you why. If you can only message someone who's following your business page if they have messaged you first. So that means you got to get people to message you, right? And so I use my messenger bots to do that. And I'm going to show you all what it looks like. And what that messenger bot does, it has a conversation for me. I set these conversations up to happen just like you're actually talking to me. And a lot of people think that they're actually talking to me. But You will basically have a conversation with my bot. It's artificial intelligence. And then you get that grabs your Facebook Messenger. And now I can blast messages out to anyone who has sent me a message on Messenger, right? So that's the trick, getting people to send you a message on Messenger and using a platform like ManyChat, which is ManyChat, ManyChat, and it can be kind of complicated. So I'll also be doing a webinar on walking you through ManyChat and how to set up your own bot, because I was paying someone to do it for me, and every time I wanted a new one, I had to pay them. So I was like, I'm about to figure this out. And so now I'm going to teach y'all, not tonight, but I'm going to teach y'all. But once you can get someone to message you on Messenger, you can now broadcast messages out. So now I have 1,100 people that I've had message me on Messenger, that if I want to get a message out directly to them about something, I can get it out directly to them. And those Messenger open rates are like 80-90% versus email that's like 25% open rate, right? So you really want to be using Messenger if you're using a Facebook business page. Facebook groups. So yeah, like I was saying earlier, every seminar I've gone to about Facebook or about social media, they're like, get a Facebook group. Everybody doesn't need a Facebook group. They can be great for business, but everybody doesn't need a Facebook group. I swear I've been added to so many Facebook groups, and there is not a lot of engagement in them. So they're really not serving their purpose. So first, ask yourself, should you really have a Facebook group? And if you have a product or service that really requires community, then a Facebook group is a great idea. But I'm going to give you a few tips on if you feel like you want to start a Facebook group, or if you already have one. Engagement. That is it. So like I said, my group has grown over 10,000 people this year, and it was not by chance. It's because I decided that I wanted to grow the group, and therefore I decided I was going to comment on every single post that was posted in my group. Sometimes I'll just post an emoji, I'll just comment an emoji. I'll comment, love it, all type of stuff. And I'll even comment and say, I don't know the answer, but I hope someone can help you. All that's doing is creating engagement so that post can be shown to other people, and then they're going to comment, and it's going to get shown to more and more people. So that is really the trick to Facebook groups. Facebook wants you to have groups. You see, now you're seeing commercials about Facebook groups. So they're a big deal, and they're looking at ways to really help you monetize them and actually charge people to be in Facebook groups. So if you have a business where you can create a community, it might be a great idea to have a Facebook group, and you may be able to really make some money out of it. And I have a lot of strategies on that as well that we'll talk about at some point as well. If you're not going to start a group, I'm going to tell you how to get more customers out of some of the groups that you are in. So Dominique said you comment first before others are all. I try to I see every post first. So I have it set so that I see every post. So if I'm awake, I see it. I get a notification of every post, and I try to comment immediately. Even if someone has commented first, I comment, because I know that I have 900 friends in the group. So they're going to show that post to more people. And that's another tip. Get some friends in the group. Because I have 900 friends in my Facebook group, they're going to show, Facebook's algorithm is going to show my posts and my comments to more people. So it's a great idea, if you're in some Facebook groups, to make some friends in those groups, or add some friends of yours to that group, so that when you post, they're notified about it, or it drops right in their feed. Like if friends of yours post in a group, so I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, but typically if one of my friends posts, even if I'm not saying that I want to see every post from that group, if one of my friends posts, I will get a notification that says such and such just posted in this group, so again, because Facebook wants that engagement. So get some friends in the group, and then be active in the group. That's, again, engagement is key. So make sure that if you're in groups, that you join the right groups, right? So that's number one. Every group is not the group you should be posting your business in. And you will waste a lot of time like spamming groups with your business. Like, it's really not helpful, and you'll see that there is not a lot of engagement, and a lot of times you're actually hurting yourself, and it drops it down. Will drop down to the bottom of the group. So I've had people like, where'd my post go? Did you delete my post? I'm like, no, it's there. It just didn't get no engagement. So it dropped it to the bottom of the group, because groups are not chronological. What you see at the top of the group is what Facebook feels like is getting the most engagement. So again, you have to find a strategy to get engagement. Going live, Deshaun asking about going live in your group, is very important, and I hate doing it. If you're in my group, every time I'm like sitting around the house, my hair ain't done, I'm like, well, I gotta go live and talk to these folks. But it helps a whole lot with engagement. And so a lot of us are not, we just ain't live people. Like, I hate going live. It's just not my thing. I don't mind sitting here and talking to y'all about something I love talking about, but going live in the Facebook group is a totally different thing. But it is great for engagement. For instance, when I did this presentation live here in Nashville a few weeks ago, I told people sometimes you got to put something out there that's controversial to get folks talking. You don't want to, have people arguing, but you got to put stuff out there that might be a little bit different from what you usually put out to get folks talking. So for instance, in my Facebook group last month, I looked at my numbers. So Facebook will show you what your engagement looks like for the month for your group, and it was down 7%. And I was like, well, that ain't gonna work. I got to get this group back popping. And so I said, we're going to talk about dating. Sure enough, my engagement right now is up 150% this month. And so what that did was me going live and me posting questions about dating. It got folks talking. Now my group is back popping again. Now, once your group has a lot of engagement, Facebook is going to show it to more people. They want people to join these groups. Again, they want people in these groups. So the more engagement is going on in your group, the more they're going to show it to people and tell them to join the group. Also, what your group looks like when someone joins is important. You'll see if you're in my group that I changed the cover picture this week to something that I felt like was more fitting of the group. And then also when you join, I have several questions there or several tips about how to enjoy the group. Not only do I have tips on how to enjoy the group, it tells you how to get on our newsletter, how to get our newsletter, which takes you to my Facebook, my messenger bot. So now I can get in touch with, like, a lot of people probably think that I am trying to get their email address. When I'm like, click here, I want to get your, and then it asks you for your email address. The email address is nice, but I'm really trying to get you on my messenger bot. So now I can send you a message directly, or if there's something that I'm promoting, I can send it directly to your messenger versus sending an email that you might open that 20% of the people are going to open. So yeah, I would say going live once a week. It is great to schedule it. So if you let people know it's coming, that's definitely a great way to get folks kind of engaged and like, I'm going live at 8 o'clock, and then folks are looking for it. And so that's a great way. And again, you got to make it something that they're interested in. So ads. Has anyone done a Facebook or Instagram ad like or ever paid for? I just published a little poll. So if you haven't, you may want to consider it. It's not hard to do. Facebook has made it even easier. So they will basically, if you post something on Facebook or Instagram, they'll be like, do you want to boost this? And so Dominique, if it didn't do anything for you, I don't know how much you targeted. And so that is very, very important, is your targeting. So a few tips on targeting. You can upload your email list. If you have been collecting emails from your customers, you can upload that to Facebook, and then you can target the people who've already interacted with your brand. Because of course they're already familiar with you, they're more likely to do business with you. If you're targeting, you need to be looking at the demographics and the interests of the people. So how old are they? Are they male or female? They've taken out the option to target by race, which I hate. But what are they interested in? So you got to be very creative. Like for me, I can't say I want to target Black people. So I may, if I'm targeting here in Nashville, I'm going to target people who like Tennessee State University and entrepreneurship, because more than likely, if you like TSU and entrepreneurship, you're a Black entrepreneur, right? So you got to get kind of creative, but the targeting is super, super important. And again, if you have an email list, you need to be using that email list, uploading it and creating an audience from that. And then from there, you can create a lookalike audience. And so that lookalike audience is people who are kind of like the folks that are on your email list. So they probably have some of the same interests. They're probably in the same age group, and then you can target them. Again, I'm a huge fan of Facebook and Instagram ads. They worked well for me, but I have kind of zoomed in on targeting. And then I'll pay somebody. I'll go out to, so let's just talk about some of the tools I use. So Fiverr, if you're not familiar with Fiverr, Fiverr, I'll type that in the chat. I just thought about that. I could be typing stuff in. So Fiverr is a great tool to find someone to do something for you for a little bit of money, right? So I can go out to Fiverr and I can pay somebody $40 and have them do some Facebook ads. They'll create the ads. They will post ads. They'll pick the audience, all of that. They'll manage them, all of that. Like I paid a girl like $120 yesterday to create some stuff for me, but she's going to manage it for like 14 days for me, create 4 ads, pick the audience, all of that. So pay somebody. Like if you don't feel comfortable and you're not seeing the results that you want to see, you might want to look into paying someone. They also have an A/B testing option now where you can post multiple ads and see which ones do better. So it'll be just like slight tweaks to it to see which one does better. The third thing is retargeting in your Facebook pixel. So retargeting is so important, right? So I'll tell you a story about a couple months ago. I was in one of my Facebook groups, one of my travel groups, and they were talking that somebody posted these shoes that have flags on them. And everybody was like, where'd you get those? Where'd you get those? So she got them at Macy's. So she posted a link to Macy's. I click the link. I go look at the shoes on Macy's. That was literally a month and a half ago. And I swear, as I'm scrolling through Google and websites and Facebook, I'm still seeing ads about those shoes because I clicked it one time, right? So that is so important, is that Facebook pixel and retargeting. Like you really have to figure out, and again, someone on Fiverr created my pixel for me and installed it on my website. So again, another place to go, reason to go to Fiverr is to get someone to do your pixel for you, and then they'll even do the retargeting for you. When someone goes to your website, again, only 2% are going to convert right then and there. So you gotta stay on their mind. Another great thing is that you can retarget with Google. So if you send out an email, for instance, you can put a Google pixel in your email, and if folks are using Gmail, it'll install a pixel and it'll show them your ads through Google, on Google, as well as when they're in Gmail, they'll see them on the side there. So that's probably why you see it, or either at the top in Gmail. So get familiar with pixels. I love pixels and the fact that you can stay on somebody's mind once they've left your website. Next thing, Instagram. So again, people ask me all the time, how did I grow my Instagram? And this is how. I researched my competitors. That was really the biggest thing that I did. Was I was like, well, what they doing? I was all over the place. When I started my Instagram page last year, I'm not an Instagram person. So I really didn't know what to do on Instagram. And so I was posting events. I was doing all kind of random stuff, and none of it was working. And so I decided I'm gonna start trying to research what my competitors are doing. And I started following them. And you should be following your competitors and seeing what they're doing. Is super important. And then and even sharing some of their stuff. The first big post I had on Instagram was a post that I reposted from one of my competitors. And, and again, our businesses are similar but different, but they would still be considered a competitor. I reposted their post, used their hashtags and everything, and got 5,000 likes. And it was the simplest post. It was a black background with white letters and one emoji, and it's the meme that says, if black people could work together like they do during the electric slide, we would be invincible, or something like that. And I posted that, and people went crazy. And so since that worked, I kept doing the same thing, and I swear for a year almost every post I made was black background, white letters, and an emoji or two. So a lot of times we just need to look at what our competitors are doing, copy their hashtags. A lot of times if their hashtags are working for them, they will probably work for you. Also, creating your own hashtag. So I have a Black Business Boom hashtag, and that hashtag is so that I can track anybody who posts about Black Business Boom. So create like a unique hashtag for your business, and it'll be a great way to ask people to share your content and use the hashtag for contests and things like that. And they're great. And I'll send you all out some information on some of the platforms, but they're great platforms to be able to track hashtags. All right, more about Instagram. All right, so contests are great. Instagram pods are a thing. I don't know how many of you guys have heard about Instagram pods, but so an Instagram pod is basically a group of people who get together and decide, I'm going to support what you're posting on Instagram, right? So if all of us that are on this call decide, hey, we're going to form a pod, and every time you post, I'm going to go and like it, that would be an Instagram pod. And so they're called Instagram engagement pods because, again, the more engagement you have within the first 10 minutes, the more likely it is that your post is going to be seen by more people. So Instagram hates pods. So let me preface by saying that before you go and create a pod, Instagram hates pods. So don't do it on Instagram. Do it via text, do it via some other platform, but don't do it through WhatsApp or something like that, but don't do it on Instagram. Courtney, you have to create a pod. Or you have to get folks together and say, hey, do y'all want to create a pod? Now, again, Instagram is cracking down on pods. They don't like them. So they started to kind of look and see, are you always liking this person's post? And so again, they're cracking down, but it is a way to kind of spike some growth by, again, getting together 10, 20 of your friends in a group and saying, every time you post, just copy the link, send it over to that group, and then everybody's going to hurry up and comment. If you do want to make sure that everyone is commenting within 10 minutes of your post and that they're commenting at least 4 words. If they're just putting emojis or something like that, it won't trigger the engagement. Kay, I don't understand your question. So I'm like, so yeah, retype your question. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're asking there, but yeah, everyone. I have a few pods that I created, and they've been going for probably 8, 9, 10 months. yeah, so get your pod together, and it definitely helps. Dominique, yeah, or turn on post notifications. So you can do that so that every time they post, you get a notification about it. Sometimes if you're not on Instagram right then and there, you will definitely miss some things. But so again, if you copy the link, so click the little three dots, copy the link, send it to your group, and ask everybody to hurry up and go and like and comment on it. And that helps to boost your engagement. Content creation. So again, I am not necessarily the guru on content creation. I plan on getting a webinar together and getting a guru. But your content is so important. And a lot of times we're just pushing out sell, 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 when folks don't want to see that. They want to see other things. Again, I didn't drop anything about Black Business Boom for 4 months. And it was after I connected with my audience. And then what I did after those 4 months is I figured out what folks, how many hashtags do you recommend? 30. So they'll let you do 30. So do 30. I would do all 30. And again, with your hashtags, I copied hashtags from somebody else, and I created, I added a few, took out a few, but if they were working for them, I figured they worked for me, and it did. So and you can put as many hashtags as you want, but Instagram really will limit like promoting your posts to if you have more than 30. So you want to stick to about 30. Rick had a question. Would you advise set the best time for? So yeah, with one of my with one of my pods, we only post within certain hours. Like there's only expectations that, within these hours is when we'll be able to support each other because people got jobs and, and things like that. So, but yeah, I'm all about y'all getting y'all pods together. I see people are connecting, but feel free to connect and get a pod going. So back to the content, creation. So make sure, again, that you're figuring out what your audience responds to. Do some testing. That's what I highly suggest. Do some testing. Try things out. See what people like, what they respond to. Once you figure out what they like and they respond to, just keep doing that. It's not super complicated. We overcomplicate things, but I will tell you again, people get tired of being sold to. So sometimes you got to step back and figure out a strategy, a content strategy that is outside of just pushing your products across Instagram all the time. Your stories are huge. So what they did was, if anybody was using Instagram bots this year, then bots were amazing, right? So bots were very helpful for me. And what the bots are, they engaged for you. So you didn't have to sit and engage all day on Instagram. They engaged for you. So you would see all these comments and likes. And it was the bots that were doing that. So, but Instagram was like, nah, y'all can't have no bots. Y'all got to sit on Instagram and engage, right? So, with that being said, they got rid of all the bots, and they literally start freezing accounts if you were using bots. So do not use a bot. If we would have been talking 6 months ago, I'd have been like, go get an Instagram bot. Now I'm telling you, please don't. But I don't know if Ashley Garth is on, but she's a social media manager here in Nashville, and we sat down and had a conversation a few weeks ago, and we talked about what she suggests is doing 30 minutes a day of engagement. So that means liking and commenting 30 minutes a day, 3 or 4 days a week. And that'll mimic some of the activity that you were getting from the bots, right? So another thing to try, y'all got these emails popping to get this pod together. I love it. And the great thing about having a big pod is that, again, Instagram is cracking down, and if they see the same people doing it all the time, they'll start to just like make that engagement void. So what I'll do is I'll send out an email to everybody. I have a pod that exists. I use Telegram for my pods. So I'll create a new pod for everybody who's on here and send an invitation out for you guys to join a Telegram bot. And so we'll have a big Telegram bot with like 100 folks. I'm sorry, Telegram pod with like 100 folks in it. So I'll get that out to everybody. Using open-ended captions. So open-ended captions have been great for me, right? So if you follow me on Instagram, you will see that I'm almost every Friday. I was literally posting the same thing every Friday, and it got great engagement every Friday. And all I was posting was raise your hand if you're supporting or working on your Black-owned business this weekend, right? So that prompted people to raise their hand. So it had raise your hand with a little emoji, hand raising emoji. And so as soon as people start seeing it, they start raising their hand. So those are comments. So it started showing it to more people. So that's why it's so important to ask open-ended questions and have open-ended comments, and say, tell me what you think about such and such. That is super important when trying to get your engagement up. Then the last thing, respond, because engagement is key. And so they are looking at your responses to DMs. They're looking at when people are commenting, are you responding? All of that. And so again, post when you know you got time, right? So last night, for instance, I posted about my planners being for sale. And look at your insights. I can't remember if that's on the next slide or not, but look at your insights. It'll tell you when the best time to post is, right? So I know my audience because I've been studying them for the last year. And I know if I post at 11 o'clock at night, I'm going to get a bunch of engagement. If I post at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, not so much. You would think it would kind of be the other way around, but apparently folks are up late and they scrolling through Instagram while they laying in bed, right? So I made sure that when I got ready to drop the information about my planners being for sale, I did it at 11 p.m. last night, maybe slightly later. And again, because I ain't had nothing to do either. So I was laying in bed, and as soon as folks started commenting, I started replying. Same thing on Facebook. I will intentionally do that. So on my personal page, my business page, and my group, I will intentionally make sure that I'm posting at a time where I know I have folks' attention, where I know it's a good time. If you post at 5 p.m., most people are running around, picking up kids, trying to get home. So you have to be intentional with that, right? And so I'll post something at a time where I know people are not doing anything. And then as soon as they start commenting, I'll be replying. You can probably look at some of my personal posts on my personal page, and you'll see the first 10 comments I reply, and then I might not say nothing else on the post ever, but it is to engage in that first 20 minutes. So I'm quick to go ahead and reply, and I know from there it'll be popping. Then I might the next day I'll be like, I feel like I need a few more likes on this post, and then I'll go back and I'll be like, thanks everybody. That'll trigger more people seeing it at that point, right? So again, because that engagement is key. All right. We're gonna kind of breeze through this search engine stuff. It's not my passion, but we're gonna talk about it a little bit. So if you have a brick and mortar business, Google My Business is so important. People need to be able to Google, be able to call you straight from Google. They need to be able to see the reviews on Google. They need to be able to go to press it to go straight to Google Maps to drive to you, all of that. So you need to make sure that you're using your Google My Business. Mobile businesses can use it as well. I'm going to show you one of my old mobile businesses. Yep. Is a like to someone. It is. Yep. So if you like someone's comment, it is considered engagement, but it's better if you actually reply. And yet later in Planoly, They will tell you the best times. And then if you're using a scheduling app, they'll typically just schedule it at the best time for you. But anyway, so Google My Business is completely free. You can put a call to action in there, like call us now. You can really get people engaged with your Google My Business. And again, it's not really suggested for online businesses, but brick and mortars and mobile businesses should for sure be on Google My Business. You can offer, you can put offers on there, you can put reviews, and you can look at analytics to see how many folks are clicking and looking at your business there. So for instance, this is one of my old businesses. This is my personal chef service. And so these are some of the options that they give us. We can add our menu to Google My Business. You can put it so people can place an order, so that they can make a reservation. So that's how customized you can be with Google My Business, so that folks can do exactly what they need to do right there on Google. This is some of my insights. So again, this business has been out of business for something like 4 years now. I just never took Google My Business down. I didn't realize that till I started getting some emails a couple of weeks ago. But this tells you, this are kind of some of the insights. These are all of the options over on the left, you can see. But these are, I've shown up, we ain't even in business, but I've shown up in 1,400 searches in the last month, right? And so, and it'll tell you how those folks found you. And then here it'll tell you what they searched for on Google to be able to find your business. And so it's great to have that information, because then you can make sure when you're doing your SEO that you have those terms showing up on your website. Next thing, like I said, quickly, we're going to kind of breeze through some of this because I really want to give you all some more information about lead magnets. So SEO is free. SEM is paid. So SEO means that your website is optimized for people to find you via searching on search engines. SEM, those are the paid ads that you see when you go to Google and it comes up and it says ad, that's SEM. You don't really want to be on SEM. You really want to be optimized for people to find you for free, right? Because again, we all about trying to save money out here. So, so you can run multiple ads if you choose to do some ads. If you're going to do ads, again, it's just like with social media. Make sure you're targeting, using the right keywords, thinking about seasonality. So if it's holiday season right now, you have a business that, you know, people might want to find for Christmas. You want to make sure that your ads are talking about Christmas, right? So, and then your ad copy. And I meant to mention this when I was talking about Facebook ads. I may have touched on it. I've paid people on Fiverr to create my ad copy, right? So I've paid people $10, $15. Like, I need an ad for such and such. I think I'm a great writer, but a lot of times I see that, you know, that my ads are not converting. So pay somebody $5 or $10 on Fiverr and have them to write your ad copy for you. So SEO, free stuff. All right. Make sure you're researching keywords. So, and make sure that you're in most platforms, depending on if you're on Shopify, Squarespace, GoDaddy, whatever, Wix, they usually have it already built in for SEO, where all you have to do is make sure that you have the right keywords in there. And if you go to Google AdWords, they'll tell you what those keywords should be. So you can look at what those keywords you should be using for your SEO based on what people are searching for on Google. Content. We talked about this. It's the greatest way to get folks to find you on Google. Blogs are great. You can pay somebody on Fiverr to write a blog for you too. I've done it. And then also I have someone here in Nashville. She writes some of my blogs for me as well. She also goes in and makes sure all of the SEO keywords are in when she posts the blog. So again, although we think we can do everything ourselves, sometimes you might have to outsource a little bit. I can write, but I don't want to all the time. So look into creating a blog. If you're selling jeans, for instance, you have a boutique and you have these great jeans. There are people out here, there are black ladies out here who got small waists and big butts and cannot find a good pair of jeans. If you got the jeans they need, you need to have a blog about those jeans, right? You need to be talking about the best jeans for black women with small waists and big butts, right? And then when they go to Google and say and look for jeans for women with small waists and big butt, your blog is going to come up. It's going to take them to your website, and then they're going to start looking around, right? And so creating that blog content is so important. And then making sure you have good keywords in your blog is important as well. But again, there are a lot of folks, you can pay somebody again on Fiverr and they will optimize, they will do your SEO for you, or you can pay someone to do your blogging for you. The good thing about blogs is they can help to really establish you as an authority. Like, people need to trust you to do business with you, depending on what type of business you're in. Or most businesses, they need to trust you. Trust that if they place an order, they're going to get it, that you're the subject matter expert. If you're the coach, like, people got to trust you. So blogs can help you to establish yourself as that authority. It can help boost your SEO, and it can establish you as the go-to resource. Hey, I'm interested in Black-owned businesses. Let me go over here and see if Black Business Boom got an article about Black-owned spas. So you want people to think about you when they're looking for the expert or a resource. Because the best marketing doesn't feel like marketing, right? None of us want to feel like we're being sold to. We want to feel like we made a decision based on what we know and what we feel, right? So you want to make sure that the marketing that you're pushing out doesn't feel like people are being sold to. So we're going to jump into how to get a lead, right? And this is what I love. And I hope that it helps some of you guys. So once you get the lead, or once you have established yourself on the platform, what do you do to get folks off of the platform? Because that's what's most important, right? It don't matter if you got 1 million followers on social media if you can't sell them nothing, if you can't get in touch with them, and if you're dependent on social media to show it to them in order to make a sale, right? You have to find ways to get folks off of the social media platform. So ways to do that. Lead magnets. Exactly what I did here tonight, right? I got you guys off of social media and here listening to me talking about how to grow your social media, right? And how to grow your online presence. So that's a lead magnet, and we'll talk about some other ones. Landing pages. So once you get them, where do you take them? And it needs to be to a nice, clean landing page. I'm a fan of landing pages versus websites. And one of the reasons is because when you get them, like, let's say you do an ad on Instagram or Facebook, and you get someone to click and they click to your website, they're going to go and start looking around your website. They're going to get sidetracked. They may not ever buy what you were trying to get them to buy. That's why I really like landing pages. And then having a strong call to action. Buy now, shop now, do this now. So lead magnets, ebooks, the ultimate guide, the resource guide, cheat sheets, the checklist, the workbook, the webinar. These are all the things that you can offer someone for free to get them to give you their email address so you can get in touch with them later, right? So I got this webinar. I want y'all to join this free webinar, right? And now I've had 300 people who have registered for this free webinar. That's 300 potential customers for Black Business Boom, right? So you have to figure out for your business what it might be that you can give your potential clients to get them off of social media. And again, those are called lead magnets. I use sales.com, SELZ.com. I love sales for like my free downloads. So like my online marketing ebook that I gave you all, which I think I sent the wrong link. But anyway, we'll get back to that. I'll make sure you all get the free ebook. But Sales is a great platform for that, and it's not very expensive. You can also create landing pages, which we'll talk about next, on MailChimp, and I use those as well. Your call to action. So again, buy now, sign up. You have to tell people what you want them to do. And so having a strong call to action is very, very important. A landing page. So again, your landing page, it might be on your website, but you want to make it, if it's going to be a page on your website, you might want to make it one that doesn't show in the navigation. But again, your landing page is very, very, very targeted. And I had a thing here to click to show y'all, but it's not working in this presentation. But actually, I'll show you guys mine real quick. Give me 1 second, and I'm going to show you all. Let me share my screen real quick. I got to figure out how to do that right fast. Offers video. Oh, here. All right. So hopefully you all can see that and it's not showing all strange like it is on my end. It might be though. So this is one of my landing pages. This is pretty much all about my planner. So it is really not anything else but go look at this planner. Like it doesn't have anything else but ready to make your Black business boom. And then it talks about my planner, what it does. It has planner information, some more information, reserve your planner, planner, right? That's all you're going to do here is look at the planner. So I want to make sure like that if you go to that website, all you're seeing is my planner. You're not going there to click around and do a bunch of other stuff. You are literally there to purchase a planner, right? So if you have a specific product it is that you are trying to push, having a landing page might be a great place to send folks. So what to do with the lead? And so once someone signs up on your landing page or wherever, or you've asked them for your their email address, you need to thank them. So that's the very first thing, is they should be taken to a thank you page. And especially if you're offering like a free download, it would go to a thank you page where they can download the resource. Then you want to kick out an email that says thank you. You can automate that. That's important. Like you want to automate that. You don't want to spend your time doing this stuff. So if you're using MailChimp, and Teresa, yeah, I'll go back in a minute and take some questions and stuff because we're almost wrapping up. But you want to automate this. So if you have MailChimp, again, I use MailChimp and I have it set so that when you do this, whatever that action might be, it automatically sends you an email. It's free. It's already included. If you use a MailChimp or any of the other platforms, most of them have it where you can automate your email so that you're not spending all this time. But people want to feel like they're, like you really are reaching out to them. And so that personalization is important as well. So nurture the leads. So now you want to get them on your email list. You want to put them in some text blasts. You want to put them in some messenger blasts. You want to stay in touch, right? Because again, people will forget about you. They will forget that they saw your product. You want to stay fresh on their mind. So when we get off this webinar, you're going to get an email from me. You'll probably get a couple emails from me over the next few days with some more tips and stuff like that, because I want to stay fresh on your mind. I want to let you know when my next webinar is, that type of thing. I don't want to just pop up 2 months from now and be like, hey, remember me? Oh yeah, I got this other webinar. I want to stay fresh on your mind. So you want to nurture the lead. And so again, with targeted content, so getting and pushing out stuff. So again, you'll get some more tips from me. You'll get personalized emails with your first name, making sure that you feel like we have a connection because I'm calling you by your name. You may see some retargeted ads. You might see my planner ad come across your Facebook because I got your email address, so I'm gonna target you, for some ads, So you want to make sure that you're doing, once you've captured somebody, even if you don't make a sale right then and there, figure out a way that you can stay on their mind and keep that as a warm lead versus letting it go cold. Drip campaigns. So another website, check out dripscripts.com. I believe it's dripscripts.com. Here, I'm typing it in the chat right now. So DripScripts will basically craft email campaign for you, depending on what type of customers it is that you have, right? So it's hard to come up with something to say in all of these different, and thanks so much for your order, Nicole, of the planner. But it's hard to come up with something to say in several emails, right? So you all have probably all been caught up in what's called a sales funnel, when you've given someone your email address from a landing page, then you get the thank you email, then the next day they're like, oh yeah, you forgot to check out. Then you get another email and it's like, hey, what's up? Here's a tip for you. And then you get another email, right? And that's called a drip campaign. They're not sitting there pushing those out there automated. But again, it can be hard to come up with what that content should be in those emails. So DripScripts is a great place to go, where you can tell them what your objective is, and they'll kind of push out, they'll give you free scripts. Yeah, Fashion Nova. Yeah, I mean, I've been caught up in so many drip campaigns, right? And so again, but it's a great way for someone to stay on your mind. And so, and then also I've had someone on Fiverr. You'll hear me talk about Fiverr a lot. I've had like 92 Fiverr orders this year, so I use it a lot. I've had someone on Fiverr to write emails for me. And then I've just gone into MailChimp and automated them, or I've had them to go into MailChimp and automate them for me. So, but it's a great way for you to nurture a lead and for you to stay on their mind. That was supposed to be a quote there, but it wasn't. So we talked about Zapier. The only other thing I'm going to talk to you guys about is like Google Alerts. So make sure MailChimp, CHIMP, Don. Google Alerts will help you know if anybody's talking about you or your business. So I always have my Google Alerts on for Black Business Boom, the Booming app, Danielle McGee, Nashville, all these things. So if anything comes out in the news or anywhere else, you'll see it. But there are several platforms that'll help you to monitor across all social media, looking for mentions of your brand so that you're able to go and interact. If let's say somebody mentions you on Twitter, you need to know, and then you need to go respond, so there are several platforms to do that as well, and some of them have free accounts as well. So I just went through a lot of information, and I have a lot more. The key thing is the data, and I put here data. Getting folks off of the social media, getting their email address, or they're getting them in your messenger bot, getting their phone number, and staying in touch, getting as much information as you possibly can get about them. And I was supposed to show you all my messenger bot. I don't know why somehow it got taken out of the presentation. So I'll try to pull it up real quick just to show you all what ManyChat looks like, and what the chat bots look like that I was talking about. And then someone had some questions about Instagram. So let's look at these bots. 1 second, I'm getting it pulled up right now. All right, so I'm going to share my screen here. real quick. And again, that's all my contact information, but most of y'all know how to find me. I'm gonna share my screen again real quick just to show you all the messenger bots that I was talking about and all the capabilities for the bots. All right, so this is ManyChat. And so ManyChat now has branched out even more from Facebook to like texting, and you can send emails directly through them now. So these are all of my flows that I have created. Let's look at this one. This one has the most. So I'm just going to show you all what it looks like. And I swear every time I'm showing someone this, it freezes. So it might not be possible. Dang, I really want to show y'all my messenger bots because I love it. But it basically goes through and asks a lot of questions so I can figure out exactly who I'm dealing with, and so I can customize those messages going forward. I wish I could, yeah, this one. So like for Black Girl Wine, I asked folks if they prefer white or red wine. So now if I want to send them messages going forward, I can say, or let's say if I decide I want to sell wine going forward, I can be like, hey, I got this new white in. I know you love white wine, you know? So being able to customize is one of the great things. And I'm going to do a webinar on ManyChat and on messenger bots very soon. So you all should see that coming out really soon, and I'll be walking you through exactly how to create a messenger bot. And then, in closing, I just got, I'm going to take some questions. So if anyone has questions, drop them in the chat. And then I do have one quick special offer for you guys, and it is on my planner. So if anybody is interested in getting the planner, and I haven't really shown anyone what the inside of the planner looks like, so y'all be the first to see. So this is the planner, Minding My Black-Owned Business. It walks you through, it has goal trackers in here. You can write down goals for your relationships, career, health, self-care, study, finance, home, spiritual adventure. But my favorite thing, and then it has monthly planners, and it can be used year-round. You just write in the dates. But my favorite thing is all of the stuff we talked about tonight is in this planner. So what I have done is I've created action plan checklists. And these action plan checklists walk you through everything you need to do to grow your business online. And there's one for your website. This is everything you would need to do on your website, like add a pop-up to collect email addresses, add your pixel, add a trust seal, rewrite your website copy. So it has a bunch of items, action items there. It has a social media checklist. So run your social media audit, ways to monitor your brand mentions, a lot of the other stuff that we talked about tonight, but it kind of provides you some checklists to go down. Then customer communication, how to choose an email marketing platform, your digital ads on Facebook and Google, then digital branding, about your logo and all type of stuff. So it really walks you through kind of everything related to digital marketing. And then for a lot of folks that are newer in their business, I've put in my business startup checklist. And this has probably that one has about 55 items, the first one. This one has probably about 80 items for when you're planning to get into business. And even for us, those of us that are in business, because a lot of us have skipped some of these steps. But it goes from everything from doing a SWOT analysis to registering, getting your EIN, getting your domain name. So it's a great thing for folks that are thinking about getting into business. But again, helping you to track those goals, set some goals for next year, and then also track those goals. So if you're interested in getting the planner, they'll be shipping out in about a week. So I'm excited about that. And so, and you can get $5 off if you order today using the code webinar. So feel free to do that. And so if anybody, and thanks so much, Rick. Yeah, I love the planner because again, I have all this information. I want to help folks, help guide folks through the process. And so there's also some digital downloads that'll be coming with the planner that'll really help you to dig into doing a lot of the stuff that I talked about tonight. And then I'll be doing some more webinars that go along with the planner that folks that get the planner have access to help you to really actually do this stuff. I'm not going to just throw you this planner and tell you go do it and not give you some tips and some steps on how to do it. So get the plan. I'll say all that to say get the planner. And again, they will be $5 off for the next 4 hours with the code webinar. So I hope you guys are going to grab that. So it'll only be $19.99 for the planner if you get it today. And again, it comes with access to a bunch of digital downloads and some additional webinars. So that's it. Does anybody have any questions that they want to ask? I'm actually going to, I think I can make it so y'all can talk. I think I made it now. So you guys should be able to speak now if you wanted to throw out any questions. If not, feel free to drop them in the chat. If you don't want to speak right now, shoot me an email. Use the code, use BPMM. If that code isn't working, use code BPMM, and it should take off an additional $5. So I thought webinar was live, but if webinar isn't live, then use the code BPMM. I'm gonna go in right now as we speak and fix that though. But either way, use BPMM or webinar, and it'll take $5 off. It's already discounted from $40 down to $24.99, but you can also get an additional $5 off. Somebody raised their hand. Oh yeah, no request. Okay, so yeah, it'll send you, like if you wanted to speak, it will send me your request. I didn't get no request. But let me make sure. So nobody has any questions. I feel like y'all should have a question or two. I'm open book. Well, anyway, I appreciate you guys so much for joining. Yeah, it should be good. The webinar is with all caps. So both of them are in all caps. So use those. Teresa, did you have a question specifically about hashtags, Teresa? No. And so the website, Rolana says has a question, but the website, if you're having any issues with getting to it, is readytoboom.com, and the coupon codes are BPMM or webinar, both in all caps, and that'll take an additional $5 off. Yep, so Teddy has started getting notifications from Facebook about being recognized for commenting on various pages. Would this be a good engagement tool as well? So yeah, Facebook now is like, you're a top fan. You know, I think that's what you're talking about when Facebook tells you that you're a top fan for certain pages. So they automatically do that. And so it is a great idea if you have a page and it tells you who your top fans are, to find a way to recognize them and give them some kudos. Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely a great idea. And then, so Teresa, just to quickly breeze back through the information on the hashtags. So one of my biggest things is look at what your competitors are doing, as well as there are several websites, several platforms that you're able to go and research hashtags. But a lot of times it's not even that deep. You can look at your competitors, look at the hashtags they're using. One of the things I'm gonna tell you is follow your hashtags. So it makes it much easier to engage if you're following the hashtags. So specifically, like if you're like, hey, so for me, Shop Black. I follow Shop Black, Buy Black, all of these different. Dawn, I will shoot you a code for $20 off if you're gonna do 4. So I'll create you a code and I'll shoot it to you tonight for you to be able to get $20 off. So $5 off of each one. But back to the hashtags. So follow hashtags. So make sure that if there are hashtags that are great for your business, the easiest thing for you to do would be to follow those hashtags. So when I scroll through Instagram, I don't have to look for stuff. I don't have to go and look around and find stuff that's about Black-owned business because I'm following the hashtags that are about Black-owned business. And then that'll help you as well when figuring out what hashtags to use. And then test them out. So, but again, what I did, I'm going to show y'all real quick. What I did is if you go to if you have the Repost app, it'll copy a caption. So if you see somebody and they have 30 hashtags and you like their hashtags, then you can go ahead and use the Repost app and it'll automatically copy that caption, the caption with the hashtags. And then what you do is keep those hashtags, create a note or something on your phone. And then every time you can just go quickly to that note, copy and paste real quick into your hashtags. And I really can't say about the hashtag thing on LinkedIn. On Twitter it is. But I'm really not a huge user of LinkedIn, and hashtags aren't really used much on LinkedIn. So really hashtags are most important on Instagram and Twitter. Facebook is not a huge hashtag platform. You can use them with them. People very rarely go and search. But make sure, so if you're in Nashville, let's say you do Nashville, you're in Nashville, you do hair, then you definitely want to be using the hashtag Nashville hair, Nashville nails. You want to make it very, very easy for someone to find you. Like if I was looking for somebody to do my nails right now, I would go and look and I would look for hashtag Nashville nails. And then I would look through that, or Nashville hair if I was getting my hair done. So make sure that you're using hashtags that make it easy for the folks that you want to find you to find you. Again, Shop Black, that's one that I use. Black-owned business, Shop Black, Buy Black. I would also use those if you're a Black-owned business all the time, because if people are looking for those hashtags, it's because they want to support you. So that's a good way. Kiana said, just starting up your business, what would you think is the right order to start making your goals? For example, getting the EIN. So I get that question a lot. So your EIN is free and it's easy to get. So you can go get your EIN right now. It takes 5 minutes on irs.gov. So I think most importantly, and my checklist, we'll run through these in order in the planner, but you definitely want to figure out what business structure you want. So are you going to be an LLC, a corporation, sole proprietorship? Then you want to go and apply for your EIN. Then you want to apply for your business license. Trademarking is not anywhere near the top of the list. A lot of times folks think they just have this amazing name or this amazing idea and they need to hurry up and get a trademark. In most cases, it's not that serious, and it's definitely not at the top of the list. Trademarking is something to consider down the line, and you can certainly reach out to a trademark attorney for more information. But again, it's not a huge protection for your business. But if you're doing business in a certain state and you go and you do an LLC using that name, nobody else in that state is going to be able to use that name. So it's important that you register your business with the city and state where you are. It is more important, I would say, to hurry up and grab your domain names and your social media handles. So making sure that you quickly grab whatever the domain name is. And a lot of times, so a friend of mine, she had a business called Dress to Kill. it's a popular name. So she wasn't able to get that domain name. So she just added Miami to the end, Dress to Kill Miami. So you want to make sure you're able to get your domain and that you're able to get your social media name. So if you have an idea of what your business is and you're new, even if you don't post nothing, go claim those social media names and get your domain. The domain costs like $12 for a year on GoDaddy. So go and do that like now. And then you can worry about the rest down the line. But again, that the checklist that's in my planner is going to walk you through all of those steps. Shari had a question about sponsored ads. I like ads. I'm a fan of them, but the targeting is so important. I have seen ads come across my Facebook that are like for something happening in Denver, and I live in Nashville. They didn't target. They wasted money, so you want to make sure you're targeting by where these people are, what they like to do, how old they are, so, and sometimes that can be difficult, but you want to get as granular as possible. People who like the movie Black Panther, like you can get that granular with it. And if you're going to do sponsored or paid ads, you need to make sure your targeting is up to par. And then Courtney had a question. So Facebook groups, Moms of Melanin, Middle Tennessee. It's hard to make people check in and be social. Create the group with the vision to connect moms, but it seems like no one wants to. Yep. So I don't know if you were here from the beginning where I talked about groups with the engagement. You have to, if you can find a few key members to post, and then you have to be commenting on their posts constantly. So with my group, I started to share stuff, articles. So look for some articles that they can connect with. For instance, their article came out today about Beyonce taking off a year for her mental health, because she's a mom and how difficult it is. That's a good article to share to your group. Folks will connect with that. So you need to find stuff that folks will comment on. And if anybody comments if anybody posts in your group, you need to be commenting on it quickly. So make sure your notifications are on for your group to see every post immediately, because the more you post, the more you comment, the more they'll show people those posts. And then I talked about also sometimes you got to put out some controversial topics to get folks talking. Talk about dating. Throw out anything about dating, about the difficulties moms have with dating. And I guarantee you folks will start talking. And then from there, the engagement will pick up. But yeah, throw out anything about dating, and I swear folks just start talking. They got a lot to say about that. And y'all, so Rick was talking about Wix. There is so Michelle, if you go to readytoboom.com, it should take you to the right page, www.readytoboom.com. Or if you go to blackbusinessboom.com and you click on the merch tab, it'll take you there as well. But getting some key members that are engaged is very important. But I was saying, there's a Black-owned website builder that I tested out, and I just rolled out the new Black Business Boom website on it 2 days ago, and it's fantastic. Like all of the stuff that I talked about tonight, and all of the tips that I give in the planner about pop-ups and that type of stuff, you can easily do it on their website builder. So once they're ready to fully launch that, I'll make sure I get it out to you guys. Again, it is a Black-owned website builder. So we ain't got to use Wix. We ain't got to use Squarespace. It's a black people out here with their own website builder. Any other questions? I hope I didn't miss anybody's questions. How do you get your business out there if you're a new business and don't know a lot of people? So all of the things. You got to do all of the things. There are so many things to do, and that's why I really couldn't dive as deep into them, all of them tonight. Let me grab a planner real quick. I'm gonna walk through a couple things real quick. that may help. But social media, of course, is great, but you got to find the right strategy. So creating good content. What is it, Tamika, what is it that you do? What type of business do you have? So Teresa, the star ratings are really what I use, but I go and I look at what their work looks like on Fiverr. So I don't just choose anybody. I try to really look at what the work looks like, what their previous stuff looks like, I read through the reviews. But more than likely, I'm like really looking at their work, and really specifically like zooming in to see if their work. And then also I'll try to chat with folks in advance because a lot of times there's a language barrier there. So that's good to know up front if they can speak good English. Latanya, I just took the ebook off the site today. I'm going to, and that's why I think the link that you guys are getting is not right. I'm going to email it out to everybody for free. So I'll send you all the link to get the ebook for free. But in the planner, like I said, so Tamika, you make cupcakes. So there's so many things you can do. Again, I would definitely join Facebook groups and be engaged in some Facebook groups in your local area. People come in my Facebook group all the time and ask people who bake. So being in the right groups on Facebook can definitely be helpful. I would suggest getting some really, really good pictures of your cupcakes and possibly, and Nicole, she does great. People, again, a lot of certain industries, it's like your work that really speaks for you. So people come in my group all the time and ask for bakers, and they tag Nicole all the time. So, but having like the visuals, anything that's like in food, the visuals are so important. So having good visual content, videos, any sort of videos that show you creating is a great idea. If you are creative and you create stuff, videos showing how you bake certain things is great content. So I would put out some good pictures on social media, use some great hashtags, get some videos of you actually creating and what that process looks like. Start putting out some recipes, possibly get a website up, put out some blogs with some recipes and some tips and tricks for folks who bake at home. A YouTube channel. I didn't get into YouTube too much tonight. We'll have another webinar coming specifically on YouTube. So YouTube channel is a great, I mean, we don't think about it as a social media channel, but it is. So it's a great one. And then Teddy said, please note you're responsible for any tax liability from the date you get your EIN. Yeah, so you have to start paying taxes. So I teach courses for entrepreneurs here in Nashville, and it's important. Your taxes are super important. So yeah, once you get the EIN and you start making money, you will be responsible. So funding, I don't talk about it. I talk about getting your finances in order and looking for funding briefly, but I don't go that deeply into it. But we'll do some webinars. I'll also have my radio show here. Next week, we're going to have somebody on and we're going to be talking about finding funding. I can give y'all some great tips on finding some investors or finding some money. So I'll definitely be doing some webinars going forward. Teresa, DM me on Instagram and I will follow you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Y'all send me your Instagrams. I'll be happy. It's so funny because I'm very rarely on Instagram. Like I'm really not on there. So I really don't be on. I have paid my little cousin who goes on there and engages for me. So that's another tip I usually throw out there. So you gotta engage. So pay somebody $20 a week. I got a little cousin, I just paid her $20 a week and she goes on Instagram and she likes and comments for me a couple hours a week. So Sometimes we got to think outside the box. And, as Black folks, we're good at that. Like, we're good at being resourceful. So, again, I'm going to keep giving you all as many resources as I possibly can. Again, a lot of them are in the planner, but or will be in the content that'll come with the planner. But either way, I will be making sure that I keep pushing you all out as much information as possible. Because again, I don't want it is not my goal for you all to pay me to do any of this for me. So let me make that very clear. It is solely my goal to empower you all to be able to do this yourself and to be able to grow your businesses yourself. So any other questions before we hop off? I'll also be sending you all an offer soon to join my accountability group that we'll be launching in the beginning of the year, where we'll kind of hold each other accountable for some of these goals that we're putting in this planner. So I'm excited about that as well. All right, well, if no, I don't want to cut y'all off because y'all got seem to have a good conversation going in the chat. but I just want to really, like I said, I'm glad to have motivated you. I have really sat back and studied this stuff, and now that I've kind of felt like I'm good at it, it is my goal to give it to you guys, for you all to become good at it as well. It's not as daunting as it can seem. So I want to make sure that you all know that you can do. A year ago, I didn't even use Instagram. A year and a half ago, I hated it. I didn't even have an Instagram. So you can go from not having Instagram to having a bunch of followers, but it's not even about a bunch of followers. It's about having the right followers. And so again, we'll be doing some more of this going forward. Joyce Reed is Joyce is in the Facebook group. A bunch of y'all in the Facebook group. So if you all enjoyed this, and if you are in the Black People Making Moves group or anywhere on social media, please shout me out. Please tell people that you enjoyed the training. So the next time we can have even more people here, but there'll be more coming. Again, I'm going to drop off. I'm going to let y'all chat for about another 10 minutes, and then before I cut it off, but I'm gonna drop off because I'm tired. But thank you all so much for joining, and you all have a fantastic night.